There we go. It's TweakWatch transparency. Let's see. Welcome, T-Man. Welcome, Justin. La Rata. Welcome, T-Man. Let's turn that down. Who's restreaming me? What are we doing here? Let's pay the bills here. Gotta pay the bills. Where is it? Got to pay the bills. How y'all doing today? I think I missed some high octane tweaks earlier. I saw Amanda went live, but I was driving around and I had a lot of stops. I couldn't really tune in, pay attention to what was uh, going on TweakTube. Maybe the chatters can bring me up to speed. What are we doing here? Paste. There we go. If anybody really needs to buy me a coffee, you can click on that link in the thing. Either the sidebar, the bottom bar, or the whatever bar. Let's get on to all messages. Just got in from work. I listened to Amanda's stream, just average tweaks. Yeah, that's kind of one of the topics is, as some of you may have noticed, certain tweaker was back on the YouTubes on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, the one and only Badger. I think the expectation is possibly a little too high at the. I mean, it's summer hiatus. Okay, so DirectD chose to spend his summer vacation in Apache County Jail. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, what were we watching at this time last year? Was it like ICE's prison stream or something? So that was like fake prison. This is like IRL prison. What were we watching in August last year? Does anybody remember? I was moving my house, or moving shit out of my house. What were we watching in August? I mean, it has been a while since DirectD has come through and given us those vintage, fine quality, perfectly aged tweaks that we're expecting. But yeah, if Amanda is only doing average tweaks, but she still does a better job than DirectD. I mean, there's no dead air, other than when she mutes to talk to DirectD. Aiden, you don't work, according to Aaron. Oh, I worked. Ooh, 500 a free freezer. Let's go. Candace said Dookie wasn't threatening. He was being silly and hyperbolic. Yeah. No, I think Todd does a good job of playing that little clip. Oh, 500. Yeah, 500 Canadian. But he does have a point there, Aiden. 500 Canadian is, well, I guess if you're in Canada, it's going to buy you half a shopping cart of groceries. I don't know how much weeds that buys. But a free freezer. A little jelly. That sounds nice. Okay, let's get the boots off. But yeah, at any day, we've got literally the potential for a Tweaknado to just pop off at any time. I was watching a little bit of Todd's stream last night. Dookie Ranch had a stream going on with secret Scallywag and Desert Jim Carrey, and that was so unwatchable. It was I almost was in tears after I vomited. Like, it was nauseating. Gnome does a better job tweaking out solo. Uh, with the help of Secret Scow, it was just. Joe, welcome in. Let's see who's all here. Joe's here. Aaron's here. Aiden's here. Don't see Michael Wyatt here. Justin's here. T-Man's here. All right, the gang's all here. Let's see. Aaron's getting up at 3:20 in the afternoon. All right. That's a lot of like, what are you doing? Like, it's a lot of masturbating. A week of food or 3 pounds for 500 Canadian. Yeah, I can see that. Tube Sock. Is Tube Sock one of us? Is Tube Sock any of your sock accounts, or another Rider sock? Tube Sock was doing some fine trolling over the weekend. I can't tell who Tube Sock is exactly, but they're Larata, aren't they? What should I get to eat? Egg rolls. Buy lots of egg rolls, and then you can set all these Asian booby traps. Need to get gas too. Go to Costco. Well, Tube Sock is a pretty independent troll. Been around for a while. Yeah, I've seen Tube Sock around. It seemed that they're Larata, but some pretty decent trolls. Pretty decent trolling work going on there. They're willing to pay the troll toll fee to troll Amanda. Like, what was interesting? Oh yeah, okay. I remembered. There was a detail I was remembering about Billy Barthel. So we're going to be switching back to a couple of topics here. But before I forget, I had said last week there was a detail that Billy was sharing after the fact that contradicted what he said during the 911 call to emergency services. Yeah, you got to pay to play. And this was the detail. I'm sure whoever's here, see who else stumbles in over time, but this was the detail that stood out the other day. Because there's been a lot of restreaming of old Rabbit stuff. Thanks to Q the Audit, there was a bunch of Benghazi Rabbit streams shared, or portions thereof. Todd's been replaying a bunch of old shit. Finkel's been replaying a bunch of old shit. And then we had last night, Doc Scrolls was on Todd's channel. And they were actually going over a call that Rabbit made to Alicia just after Rabbit called 911. Because if you remember the timeline, he came home, found her, or came home, went straight to the shower, came out of the shower, found her dead. And Alicia was on the phone with her from 3 p.m. to 3:23 p.m. And allegedly, like 7 minutes later, she did it. She suicided herself. And so during the 911 call, allegedly or reportedly, Billy Barthel had butt dialed Alicia, I believe from Lion's phone. And so just, I mean, picture the scenario. Imagine I'm on the phone with 911, paramedics or emergency services on this phone, and I've got Max, shut it. All the neighbors decided to just all tweak out at once, and Max got to tell him, shut up, tweakers. My daddy's YouTubing, she. But so I've got line one's phone in my back pocket, and I'm talking to 911, and I accidentally butt dial Alicia. Andrea's best friend. And then I notice, oh shit, I've butt dialed Alicia. So I get off the phone with 911, and the paramedics are at the door. I better phone Alicia and find out what she heard or what she knows. So very shortly after the paramedics arrive, it seems, this is the timeline I'm understanding, Billy calls Alicia on Andrea's phone and starts telling her the news, sharing the news. And you could hear Alicia on the other lines, like, in disbelief. It's like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what the fuck? She said she recorded that butt dial. So this was the first time I heard the discussion between Alicia and Rabbit. I guess that was recorded by Alicia. So that was fresh, and this was being played for Doc Scrolls last night on Todd's channel, and Doc Scrolls was just throwing up deflection, distraction, disinformation. He's a chaos agent. I mean, he was accusing Todd and Ryder of speculating. Doc Scrolls was the speculator there. So whatever, that's beside the point. But so I had heard that phone call for the first time last night. Didn't know that phone call existed, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, it fills in more of the gaps for me. You Fail Me is here. Welcome. You're banned. Well, that's awesome. Oh, but you made a new channel. Oh, well, that's awesome. He said that butt dial is basically damning. I wouldn't doubt it. I said she'd have released it by now if that was the case, but she said she's waiting for the right time. Been over a year. I suggest it might be right time in 5 years. Need mod to share it. Well, how about you just tell us what the channel is, Nagger? Just put @ and then the channel name in the chats, and we'll find it. And I can link to it. We got you. We got you. But going back to the 911, the detail that Billy seemed to slip up in the retelling of the story to however many people on YouTube. I mean, the whole internet. I mean, it's on the internet for everybody to find. But on a panel, okay, let's go back to the 911 call. I'm not subscribed. I don't know what's been going on with you, family. So, Internet Cowboy 7. Well, that's a pretty faggy name, but whatever. If that's the one you picked. Internet Cowboy 7. There you go. All the You Fail Me simps can head over there and Larata away. But you guys recall during the 911 call on one of Billy's 3 phones that he was using that day. He had said, line 1, my wife, she's going into agonal breathing, which is basically, it's kind of your body's last attempt to preserve brain function. Essentially, you're just gasping for air. But he used the term agonal breathing during the 911 call. I distinctly remember it, and that's somewhat of a clinical, technical term. So, what Billy's expertise or knowledge in first aid or these kinds of physiological phenomenon involved, but agonal breathing is something that, you know, it's kind of a specialized term is what I'm saying. But then in a later panel, say towards the fall time, on other panels, whether it was on his channel or Muckster's or Finkel's, or I kind of lose track of all these live streams, he specifically said, yeah, she had gone into that type of breathing. I forget what, or I don't know what it's called, but it's like she was just breathing all weird, and it's like this distress. So he was describing agonal breathing, but meanwhile he used the term agonal breathing previously to the 911 caller operator. So again, he's unable to keep track of his lies, right? How do you remember agonal breathing? Because he didn't say I can't remember what the term is. He says I don't know what the term is. There's a distinction there, right? Just like Doc Scroll says, you know, if a person were on these medications and they had postpartum depression, they could so and so and so and so. Well, the word could is the qualifier in that statement. That's speculative. They could, but did they? Like, there's so many things you would have to know before you could arrive at that conclusion. So Doc Scrolls on Todd's panel last night, I'm glad Todd chewed him out. Total chaos agent. I wouldn't have given Doc Scrolls much of a chance once I see him deflecting like that. That was brutal. Like, he was not there to inform or give an objective response to what they were listening to. He was sent there to, I think, prevent them from playing that audio clip. I think anybody from the Savage Saints camp or JJ's camp or Kaiser camp or the Carrollton crew or anybody involved with Direct D, like, paneling with them when you're sharing something about Andrea, they're there to shut you down. That seems to be something that Todd hasn't clued in on yet. Like, they're there to prevent you from sharing what you want to share. At least that's the way it seems to me. So let's see what you guys telling me to shut the hell up, tweaker. You're too much of a tweaker, said the tweaker. I don't think she was doing agonal breathing. I think it was just, I don't know, blood oxygen escaping the wound. She was gone already. What's fucked up is he said he shaved his beard because of wood chipper and yet showed a video of him using a beard cover when using a wood chipper. Yeah, that's a something. I would say it was agonal breathing, and it's like once a subject or patient or individual goes in agonal breathing, like, you're pretty much done. Like, it's like the reptilian part of your brain is just taken over. It's just pure survival. Like, it seems there was no possibility of helping her at that point. But agonal breathing is a thing, and again, I'm no doctor. I don't even play one on YouTube. But I did take human anatomy and physiology and that kind of shit. So Brandon F. and Mitchell is here to, what are we doing? Live long and tweak on. Had a chat convo with Doc Scrolls a while ago. Like there was a kind of, not a controversy, but a discussion. Like, is Doc Scrolls a mod on Secret's channel or DirectD's channel or both? Doc is creepy as fuck. I don't know much about Doc Scrolls. I've seen DirectD streams where he reads Doc's chats, so it's someone he seems to look up to. But it's definitely a Christopher Ruff simp, and I gotta admit, like he was staying very calm when Todd was literally popping off, you know, head exploding, you know, this close from a heart attack, as Todd usually does, very stoically. And Doc was able to just kind of stay at a very even level. Like, he wasn't getting worked up at all. So that too was a clue that Doc wasn't there to get riled up or argue. He was just there to delay the process of Todd and Chris sharing that audio clip of that phone call between Alicia and William J. Barthel Jr. So yeah, we don't know what all evidence is out there, but the more that seems to drip through, and this might just be a constant drip, drip, drip of information that comes out. And so I say, keep talking, Billy. Get on the internet as much as you can. We got to free DirectD just so he can get out and sing. That songbird, he needs to sing, man. Yeah, I called her every name in the book, and yeah, I blocked in her trailer. I fucking told them I blocked in her trailer. But here I am. I'm on YouTube. How come I'm not arrested? How come there's no charges with my name on them in Apache County? Well, what? That aged well. That lasted, what, a week and a half? I mean, Tweaker, who put themselves in jail? Did Heather put you in jail, or did you put yourself in jail? I mean, that's just me, but Doc is creepy as fuck. Yeah, I can't say I know too much about him, but if he's adjacent to DirectD, I mean, that's kind of enough for me. Tweak long and prosper. Do we think she did the deed? Let's assume she did while he was in the household. I don't believe it. It's not likely. It was probably done before he got there, and was just her body doing the noises. Well, there's all kinds of details. The dogs were barking or not barking. I mean, the perfume, like all these little details, does not seem like a reasonable emergency response when your wife just shot herself. Taking pictures of the body prior to internment, taking pictures of the bloody mattress, sharing them with friends and on the internet, like just bizarre. But you know, one of the points that came up last night on Todd's panel with Doc Scrolls is like Andrea was saying how good she was feeling to Alicia. So yeah, they had miscarried a baby. They had been married what? They married in March and she was dead by May, kind of thing, end of May. I think like it was only a couple of months of, you know, registered marriage, whether they were living together previously or who knows what. Finkel shared a stream from 2 years ago where they were together, but not married. But she wasn't happy with the FetLife BDSM stuff or whatever else he was into. She wasn't happy with the Savage Saints. She wasn't happy with him just in general. And she was ready to leave or kick them out. One or the other, doesn't make a difference. But they were going their separate ways, and she felt good about that. And Doc Scrolls is claiming, oh yeah, people that suicide themselves, they often say that right before they do it. And it's like, yeah, I can see how if someone's in a depression and once they get a little lift and they see, okay, I've settled in my mind, I've got the strength, the energy, the will to do the deed, that might give you a lift, or it might give you a feeling that things are good because you've kind of settled things, right? But just this morning, on a different stream, there was a YouTuber that was spending time in a Discord server with other internet people, and one of the internet people that the YouTuber was familiar with, he'd known him for several years on Discord. One day decided to not live anymore. And so the premise of the YouTube video I watched today is like, that's a very selfish thing to do. If not the most selfish thing you could do is to take your own life. Max, you're a tweaker. Come here. Hey, come here. Tweaker, tweaker, get over here. Good boy, good tweaker. But he said the gentleman who did take his own life, he revealed that he was feeling good. But the YouTuber who was the friend of the victim of the self-unaliving, or the suicide, whatever you want to call it, he said he knew something was off. He could just hear it, or he was picking up like, this guy's not all right. And they're essentially strangers on the internet. Like I don't think they'd ever met in person. The guy who did it to himself was in Texas. This guy is nowhere near that. I think he's Eastern Seaboard or something. So, many miles of separation, but the guy picked up is like, okay, your words are inconsistent with what you ended up, the final solution here. I didn't get that with Alicia's response when she heard that, yep, my wife killed herself. It's crazy. And then the tears and the waterworks, and then just turning it on, turning it off, turning it on. Doc Scrolls referred to that as volatile. Volatile behavior. That's one way. I think it was almost rehearsed behavior to be able to just turn on the emotional distress and then come right back down, and then amp up emotional distress in the next 2 or 3 sentences, and then come right back down. It seemed more than just volatile. It seemed almost performative. So I see Oklahoma audits just snuck in. Welcome. What else we got? Yeah, previous attempts. I mean, I see your comment there, Aiden. Family members, sorry for that loss. If he was in the house, it's impossible not to hear a gunshot. I would agree. Shower or no shower. I mean, unless he has some history of hearing issues, I don't know. Maybe he forgot to take the earmuffs off from using the wood chipper. Like did he shave around the ear hearing protection? His story is is something that is usually not believed at all by investigators. I think he's the prime suspect. They were together 4 years, but only married 3 or 4 months. Yeah, that's kind of if I had to guess, Like I think the first time I heard of Benghazi rabbit was maybe 3 years ago, maybe 4. I wasn't aware that Andrea was connected to him in any way until after all this happened. But that sounds about right. Oklahoma there. So if it happened before he got home, he took maybe 30. I don't think the story is that he took that long to shower. I think it was very quick. Just he somehow shaved and showered like lickety split. Like with whether he had clippers. I think it took maybe 5 minutes or something to shave his whole body. So maybe he's done it before, so he's got it down. I doubt she's still agonal breathing for that long. Yeah. If she had suffered like such a fatal wound, and the agonal breathing kicked in, like, I guess clinically you would have, like, I don't know how long the body can survive with that kind of trauma and just go on the agonal breathing indefinitely. Maybe it could last hours. I have my doubts. Based on the nature of her injury, self-inflicted or not, it doesn't seem like that would just carry on. So yeah, like just forensic, like we're just amateur forensic tweakers. Like we're not even trying to take a professional medical examiner's stance here. Maybe somebody in the chat is a medical examiner and can straighten this out, but I do have a science degree. I've taken enough biology courses. It just doesn't seem likely. Like trauma, the head trauma, likely the brain trauma. The heart and lungs were just struggling to provide oxygen as she was bleeding out, as the brain was dying. It just, his story is just too sus. Tags in the house. Hello, beef brother. Fake internet beef brother. So yeah, Aaron brings up, like, you can attack his story from any number of ways and then compare it to the way he describes the events afterwards, during the 911 call. Like, there's just too many inconsistencies, too many stretches of the imagination. You got to reach for some of these events to make it fit reality. Like, okay, why say it did happen the way you described? Where's the bullet? Well, how come no bullet was found? We found a casing, but the projectile was never found. You're reaching around and her tongue was cold. You knew her tongue was cold. What were you just making sure she wasn't choking, or were you fishing around for a bullet? Like, what was going on there? I have questions. His actions speak louder than words. He got really tweaky when the calls got put out. He's just having pizza parties. Yeah, the pizza party, that was disturbing. I remember seeing that on a LiveStream with Bao, because that was like the very next day, was it not? That memoriam gathering for Line 1. That was the most bizarre memorial service or memorial event I'd ever seen. That was creepy as all get out. He said his manscaper was broken. Going on panels. I mean, that's what we've got. Like, if he was innocent, he would sit back, shut up, let his lawyers take care of this. But as we know now, he can't shut up, and he's too indigent, meaning poor, to provide his own legal counsel for any of this. So I think it's only a matter of time before all this catches up to him. And however long it takes, doesn't matter whether it's a month from now, a year from now, a decade from now. Justice for Lion 1, man. I thought it was normal. Okay, that's why I don't think it was agonal breathing that he saw. Well, my point is he called it agonal breathing during the 911 call in conversation to the operator of emergency services. But then after the fact, he made it sound like he wasn't familiar with the term agonal breathing, but he had used it during that call. She's gone into agonal breathing during the call, and then on panel after the fact, he said, yeah, I'm not familiar with the medical term for it, but she was breathing all weird. So again, that was a slip up, right? Like, maybe I'm making too much of it, but to me, that was a slip up. Like, he either forgot what he said during the 911 call. So again, if you're lying, you got to keep all your lies sorted out. And that's when you slip up and the details start to catch up with you. The devil's in the details, they say. It was just her body sputtering. Don't know if that's the right word. Yeah, I don't know if sputtering is a clinical term. I don't know. I don't find his changes in emotions to be questionable. I thought it was normal. You personally don't think he did it? Yeah, the 90 degrees in North Carolina that day, in Charlotte, North Carolina, or Silver Pines, when it was actually in the 70s or mid 70s. So was it too hot and you had to shave, or was it fear of getting sucked into the wood chipper? Like, it's just, your reason for shaving was one or the other, maybe both, but it's like you gave one reason at one point, and then you added another reason after, as if to bolster your story. And as Bao pointed out during the panel with Secret Scowl back in November, it's like it's a well-crafted story. It's a perfect story. It's been thought out. It's been like, we're not interested in the story. The story is what the story is. We're trying to get to the facts and evidence. Whereas Todd and Finkel say we're just selecting data points here. We're after data points. It's not so much data points as we've got certain facts that we know are the facts. And then it's up to investigators or interviewers or questioners or tweakers to interpret those facts. And maybe it'll be up to a jury at some point to determine whether those facts add up to beyond a reasonable doubt. That's what I'm waiting for. Because, as we all know, William J. Barthel is innocent until proven guilty. We'll just put that out of the way, but I believe he's guilty. I believe he did it. Only he knows, I don't know. The things we know about him for sure are already damning of his character. For example, being a deadbeat dad. Obviously a shitty person. Yes. If that happened to me, I wouldn't be online. I'd sit back, shut up. And as I said, let your legal counsel deal with it. I mean, we're talking about events that happened just over a year ago. A year and 3 months or so. But like, so many people are coming forward, weighing in on this. At first it was Sean Porter, who allegedly had talked to Andrea that day as well. Press Harder got pretty public with his opinions. He was sharing some details. Alicia, at the time, I think she was raising concerns. Bao picked up the story, others, and then over the course of time, we had people come forward defending Rabbit. aka William J. Barthel Jr., aka the FetLife Pastor. And that was the rise of the Savage Saints online presence. So the tactic from the Savage Saints is to, again, cast shade on the character of those that are asking questions. Well, you can't believe Don Carney because he's a crackhead, or he's a meth head, or he's a this, or he's a that. Well, you can't believe Alicia because she drinks too much. Andrea was drunk when she wrote that 14-page journal letter entry or whatever. Direct D is an upright, good citizen that wouldn't harm a fly, let alone commit domestic violence. For how many times has he done it? That's what he thinks he saw. He could be wrong. I wouldn't call that a lie. Okay, I'm a little behind in the chat, so I'm just looking at Aaron's. That's what he thinks he saw. He could be wrong. Oh, nice load of straw just went by. What did I miss from Oklahoma? Oh, it's Oklahoma says, but hasn't slaved since? I don't know what that means. That's what he thinks he saw. Who he and saw what? His dad on the 911 call saying you're fucked. Yeah, like, how are you supposed to interpret that? As a just put yourself on a jury of 12, or I don't know, maybe they do a jury of 10 for these kinds of things. Well, you're listening to Billy's dad, who I believe Andrea had talked to that day as well. Oh, hasn't shaved since. Okay. All right. I'm getting my eyes checked tomorrow. I read Slave, so I think I read it right. But he hasn't shaved. Yeah, you notice like his beard starts like at his lower eyelid. Like that's one hairy motherfucker, right? I thought I was hairy, but good God, man. How does your beard start at your eyeball? That's messed up. I don't know, maybe there's people in FetLife that are down for that kind of thing. Rabbit's response is, Dad, we're on a recorded line, right? Yeah. I got the screenshots of line 1 and 2 different live streams within the hour. Whoa. She said she was doing house chores. I gotta get the house cleaned up before my husband gets home, because I know he's gonna run straight to the shower and I'm gonna shoot myself. Yeah, no. Aiden, you're like, you just broke the case wide open here. I mean, holy smokes, I don't want to ruin it, but like, if there's not enough to investigate further, and the claim from the Savage Saints camp is all investigations are closed, case closed, because murders, if they don't suspected murders and suicides, like we just don't investigate those anymore. That's not a thing. We just close those cases. Find that hard to believe. What I found out this week is William J. Barthel was originally from Delaware. I knew his dad was a politician. I forget where, but he was like at the state level. So whether he was like part of the state legislature, or I think it was beyond like the local level. I think it was at state level. But Rabbit, William J. Barthel, said he's golfed with Joe Biden, who's also from Delaware. Because his dad was friends with Joe Biden. Best president ever. And he knew Biden's son, Beau, who died, I forget how he died. Did he die in combat? Or did he tweak out and do something weird? But yeah, Rabbit said he knew Beau and he liked him and they got along. I think Rabbit would have had more in common and got along better with Hunter Biden, personally, just from their lifestyle. Aaron is speaking from gay experiences. Well, he does have a lot, so. Kyle, tweaker bow. Yeah, tweaker. Saying hi to everyone. This was in the Vigilance Committee stream and West Side Accountability. Yeah, so it's just like this trickle of information it's that slow drip of information. I love it. I think this is the story to watch. And I think Todd is right in covering it, but like he's more interested in fighting with people than covering the story. He'll cover the story for 2 minutes and then get distracted by Doc Scrolls or Savage or Spider Dog or Muckster or somebody. Like, it takes nothing to derail a generally specific stream. I don't get it. Like, is he that ADHD? Like, he can't focus? Like, we're gonna play this clip. It's 15 minutes long, but it takes 7 hours to get through a 15-minute clip. I was listening last night. I was just waiting for GJM to jump on and derail the whole thing completely. Just send it right into the ditch, but I fell asleep, so. He was a mayor in Newcastle. Well, it seems maybe a couple of months ago I had done a search. I think he did get to the state governance level. I could be wrong. I could be thinking of somebody else, but Joe Biden was a senator, correct? Like a career politician, but connected with William J. Barthel Sr. at the least, whether he was mayor or part of the governor's cabinet, or it doesn't matter, but they knew each other. Like Rabbit is this connected person. So having said that, this might never see a courtroom if that's the case. There could be presidential pardons coming down for all I know. Google said brain cancer for Beau, not Bow, Beau Biden. I was annoyed GS didn't finish reviewing one of the Q clips, and then and like people in the chat are like, Savage is here to prevent you from playing this, and it's gonna get brought down. And sure enough, he hit play. And is like, this video is not available. Oh, so I mean, a bunch of us did see it on Q, the audits channel anyway. So it was just a matter of Todd being on point, focused to get through the entire audio. But no, Secret had to come on and say, who's Andrea? Who's Andrea? Who is Andrea? Who's Andrea? After the third who's Andrea, she should have got punted. Because she was just there to delay until they could get the stream code brought down. That's my take anyway. But yeah, like I don't know. I made a comment the other day. It's like, this just goes to show the internet's not for everybody. And internet bloods, that's a whole different ball of wax. That's a whole different ball of meth. The To Be Fair clips. Yeah, let's play the To Be Fair clip and waste another minute of everybody's time. But do that like 4 or 5 times in an hour. Like that's good YouTubing. That's good content. But to be fair, fuck you, tweaker. If I never see To Be Fair again, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, I could watch Bad Badger, Bad Badger. I could watch that all day long. But To Be Fair, that's got bro. Uh, is that, and that's a Canada thing? Well, to be fair, Canada does suck. And even I hate Canada at this point. But I hate everybody and I hate the whole world. But I'm not going to act on that hatred. Like, you're all safe, and I'm safe. I'm not going to self-harm. I'm not intending harm on anybody, but I hate you all. Just so you know. But I think I hate Ryder the most. So. Wait, what day is it? What's the date today? It's the 10th? Yeah, I hate... My hatred for Ryder, beyond description. It's from a Canadian TV show. Yeah, okay, well that explains why... I mean, Canadian television is pretty lame, except for Trailer Park Boys and the Beachcombers. Yeah, I wouldn't watch any shows that have that kind of gay content on it. But Todd uses that clip, to be fair. That's got to go. Red Green was pretty good. Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, SCTV was pretty good, but there were a bunch of Americans on that too. So. Joe Flaherty was from Chicago, I believe. I did watch Letterkenny. I thought it was funny. I don't know what Letterkenny is, so. I mean, I was watching Red Green when it was like still in production, so. But I haven't watched much TV since then, so. So more recent, like any television productions like from 2000 and on, I have no idea any of those references. I mean, I've heard of Survivor and Big Brother, but I don't know anything about them. Like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Those were big. Like these kind of reality TV kind of kicked in when the reality TV shows were starting to rise. As like, this is gay. I mean, it was reality TV, but it's still scripted, and TV is a scam. But yeah, Red Green. What's his name? Smith. Eh? Steve Smith, aka Red Green. That was a good show. That was a good show. Most TV and movies suck now. Yes. Back to the rabbit hole. But yeah, I think Rabbit's just gonna talk his way into the inside of a jail cell and then move on to a prison cell from there. It just seems to be a matter of time. We've got Direct D, aka Christopher Ruff, or Christopher Ruff, aka Direct D. His court date's not till September. His next one in the harassing. What are his charges? Stalking and harassing, and then electronic harassment or communications. And you know, with all due respect to Bao, we've got what 1.3% of our goal to get DirectD out with bail. I think we just have to face reality, and it's like that bail ain't happening. Like, maybe we can all rally and get to that $10,000 goal or whatever it is. But 1.3%, I'm just not seeing it happen. So. And so that's kind of what I started off with. It's like we kind of have to look at, just take a step back. So we're on summer hiatus. We've got Amanda from Hawaii, Desert Tweaker in Arizona, dealing with the goats, picking up all the trash on the property, apparently. Stuff that's been there since before Ruff even owned the place. So there's trash, been junk just been sitting around there since however long he's been there. And Michelle is picking it up now and dealing with it. So good on you, Chris Ruff, for letting a crippled tweaker clean up your property. Then we got Secret contributing in her own way. So the Direct D brand is gone off in a real strange direction. New Daddy, I guess we can refer to him as New Daddy at this point. He's likely going to be in jail for at least the next month to 4 years. I mean, we got kind of repeat offender issues. There's domestic violence attached to these most recent charges. Maybe it'll all go away. Maybe it'll all just go away, and the Apache County Sheriff Department will realize, oops, we shouldn't have charged this guy. Xavier Alexander, or whatever his name is, he goofed. He shouldn't have believed Heather Tweaker. Like, never trust a woman with a beard tattoo on her chin. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, but we've got Tweaker Amanda. The report from today, because I missed that stream, was just average tweaks. But I believe she is capable of top tier tweaks. So I think just be patient, stay tuned. It will get better. But at this time last year, that was my point. Like, at this time last year during summer hiatus, what were we watching? Ice Prison Stream? Like, does anybody remember what were we all engrossed with last year? We weren't talking about Andrea at this time last year. That had kind of gone away somewhat. Secret didn't come on the scene until like the fall time. Todd and Ryder were kind of going at it a little bit. Like, what were we watching? Kensington? Crackhead Kenny wasn't even doing last year. So I think we just have to accept this summer hiatus. Accept the fact that Chris Ruff, it might be years before we see him on camera again. Unless we just get behind Bao and raise that 10 grand, and this could be all over by the weekend. Okay, let's see what the chatters aren't doing much, but let's just see what kind of tweaks are going on. Yeah, there was nothing raised over the weekend. Amanda said today they have a little over half of the 8,500. Yeah, they're at around 4,000, maybe 5,000 in like 2 weeks. And I think Bao raised like what, 120 or something, 130 over 2 streams, and that's more than what came in for Ruff over the entire weekend. So. One of the goats got stuck in it. Yeah, I heard that sad story. Poor goat was just trying to survive. I think Bao, yeah. We got 12 people here. Let's all number ourselves. Everybody comment one. 12 people. Wow, that's like a all-time high for a live stream for me. So I think if 12 people bought me a coffee, probably retire. So click that pinned link there. I feel those animals are getting neglected, but again, I don't know. So, okay, we did get a confirmation. Desert Jim Carrey is still on the scene. She hasn't bolted yet, but probably just a matter of time. We were talking about this last week on this channel. It came up again on Friday or Saturday on Smurf Watch. My theory was after a week of fundraising, the momentum is going to die. After 2 weeks, there's going to be some major dejection, if not depression, set in. By week 3, they're probably going to go silent, and by week 4, Dookie Ranch will be abandoned. It'll just get taken over by coyotes and scorpions, and that'll be it. Unless, of course, Twiggy was there. Twiggy offered to go in and help Desert Scal. Who else was supposed to be on their way there? Ryder was offering to go take care of the animals, which is noble. Like, I mean, I feel for those animals, but they're most likely going to be abandoned and have to be actually rescued. Maybe the neighbors can help out. I don't know what the neighbors are like. It seemed like Reluctant Prophet had a bit of concern for them as well, so he might head in there. One of my questions is, why is Dookie in the medical unit? Withdrawal suspected, tablet boofing, suicidal thoughts. One of the chatters on some stream said that's kind of just standard operating procedure. If somebody is on or uses any type of substance, they automatically get on medical supervision for a time. If he's still in the medical unit going on 2 weeks now, it's been a week and a half, 2 weeks? I kind of lost track already. A week and a half for sure, like 10 days, probably 12 days already. I don't know why they keep him that long. I could see for 48 hours, maybe 72 hours, but for 2 weeks, there's probably some details there. The latest was the tablet gate. So they issued Dookie a tablet that didn't work. So he borrowed his Celly's tablet, which is not allowed. And so everybody got slapped because Dookie broke the rules using prison issued equipment. So the advice on yesterday's stream, Secret said, get on the phone. We're posting the phone number. You get on the phone to that Apache County Sheriff's Office. Tell that no good Officer Lair that he's a tweaker and that he's abusing our beloved Christopher Dane Ruff, who didn't even do anything. 100 of bows was for me until you charge back, I guess. So yeah, maybe it's sympathy. Maybe they're just punishing him with the process. Maybe they're just fucking with him. Doesn't really matter at this point. The only word we got from Direct D up to this point is thank you to all my supporters and all you faggots out there that are haters and trolls. You can suck my dick and lick my taint and chew on my balls or something. So that's the best he can muster from prison. But I think he's getting a lot of, I don't know, maybe, is that projection? Like he's been doing a lot of taint licking and ball chewing, that kind of stuff. They may just want to watch him or keep him out of general population. They may know he's Direct D. You know, I have a YouTube channel, like I'm Direct D. You can't arrest me because I have a YouTube channel, kind of like I'm kind of a big deal. Like surely they told you who I am, right? Like I'm Direct D. Dookie regrets trying to get everyone to unsub. Well, he's got his cult members there. I mean, it's the same group of tweakers in there all the time, and they're all brokies. Like they have no money. So, if JJ doesn't come through, like Tube Sock has been teasing, I don't know what's. Val's not going to get it done. I can tell you that much. Nobody wants to come on Val's panel and explain themselves why DirectD needs to be free like right now. So I think Val's going to just have the opportunity to go buy some weeds and meth and maybe some mate with that 130 bucks, 100 of which is Aaron's money. Rough can't fight, hiding from the real tweakers. But yeah, you said that makes sense, Aiden. Yeah, that medical supervision, that shouldn't go on for 2 weeks. So either it's kind of a form of protective custody to keep them away from general population, or they're just messing with them. So if because it sounds like he's quit smoking in jail. Maybe he's back to smoking. I don't know. Apparently he gets the Philly steak sandwiches, which sounds nice, better than air sandwiches. Using someone's tablet, and now they want. Yeah, let's get revenge. So Finkel was pointing out that aspect is like a working tablet is not a constitutional right to a prisoner. So every phone call you make to the Apache County Sheriffs demanding working tablets for our beloved Christopher Dane Ruff, it's not gonna move the sheriff's department or the corrections officer. It's probably just gonna make life worse for Chris. So so ring those phones. But of course, we want to see DirectD get out. I'm just telling you the way it is. Like I don't see it happening unless some angel donor suddenly comes in and posts bail. It ain't happening. Tag's making good money to tweak on the internet all day. 12-hour shifts. Nice. Don't stick phones up your butt. Unless, of course, you're a felon tweaker. I mean, there's no need to stick phones up your butt. Unless, I guess, you're issued a tablet that doesn't work. Then you might want to have had the foresight to boof a phone just in case you got a non-working tablet. So, the seafood boils. Brandon, you are released. Thank you for your attendance in this important matter. Go tear up that seafood boil. Tweak on, brother. Yeah, so he got written up. I don't know if the whole pod or the whole unit got punished, but like there was some blowback for Chris Ruff just taking matters in his own hands, skirting the rules and regulations, because I am DirectD after all. And like it's hard to feel sorry for him. Like and yeah, we want to do what's right for the YouTube community and rally behind his cause and free the tweaker. Because we know there's future bigger and better felonies to commit with your newly betrothed beloved tweaker Amanda, and so they'll both be heading for a nasty one at some point. But is it just patience? Welcome in, Anna, you nerd. Everybody say hello to the biggest nerd on YouTube, Anna Banana Republic. How's things going? Justin calls his boyfriend a seafood boil. That's just weird. Dookie was festering a lot of government workers in his home area too. They may not want him out. Yeah. Hey everyone, gotta finish up a job that me and my grandson have started. Gotta finish while I got help. Lane's hearing tomorrow. Think the world of you guys. Don't stick phones up your butts. Good advice from Dad. Thanks for popping in. And I guess, yeah, go do what you gotta do. Well, here's the thing, Aaron. Everyone is infatuated with you. It's not just Anna. Yeah, just Anna confirmed it. Like, we all got a thing for Aaron, right? But yeah, I mean, we could talk more about Rabbit. I don't know. I was just bored, so I figured I'd YouTube for a bit. But yeah, Dad brings up the Lane Myers saga. That came up the other day too. I guess our very own T-Man was Larata-ing in Todd's panel, and the name Lane Myers came up, and he got somewhat scolded. I can't disagree with Todd. Like we were trying to talk about Andrea, and then suddenly, why are we talking about Lane? And Todd did bring up like Lane has essentially got himself into this situation, and I'm not saying don't help Lane, but it's sort of. I woke up yesterday morning, or maybe it was Saturday morning, and I came up with like the perfect image of Lane's situation. Like, as many of you may or may not know, Lane is big into mountain biking. So he had at some point a business where he was giving instruction and lessons and possibly equipment, uh, sales and service kind of thing. But he's a recreational mountain biker, likes riding the trails. And so the metaphor I came up with is what Lane has essentially done, just figuratively, not literally, but it's like going on a hiking trip and there's a trail. And the trail is kind of just not the status quo per se, but just the established, marked off safe trail, the safe route. And what the image that came into my mind is Lane takes it upon himself to go off the trail. It's like he's on his Acer computer laptop at home, and he's on Google Earth, and it's like, hey, I'm going hiking this weekend, and there's this really nice clearing over off this hiking trail, but you got to cross this river and get through this gorge, and there's a lot of nasty bush, and being Arizona, it's kind of rough terrain and whatnot, but we're set to go hiking on the weekend. So, you know, the party sets out 3, 4, 5 bros, however many people, and Lane's like, guys, this is the way to go. And everybody's like, no, Lane, we're gonna stick to the path. Like it's safe. Everything off the path is like, it's really, really treacherous, if not dangerous, if not life-threatening. And Lane's like, no, I got this, bro. And so Lane ventures off the trail because he's Lane. Like, that's what he's got to do. And before long, he's getting all cut up, you know, between the bush and the brambles and the cacti and whatnot. And eventually he gets to this river, which is virtually uncrossable. And there's like crocodiles and piranhas and water moccasins in there. And he could see his party up on the trail, and he's like, guys, you got to come down here. Like, this is the way to go. And they're like, no, you're tripping, dude. It's like you've been bit by scorpions 3 times, and now you're up to your waist in water, and we can see the water moccasins, these snakes coming toward you. And Lane's like, listen, bro, I've been bit by water moccasins before. It's not as bad as it sounds. It'll be fine. And then, you know, can't cross the river, so okay, we gotta drag some of these dead logs just across the river, and then you got to skip across these slippery rocks to get to the other side. And you know, he gets banged up, bruised, cut, bit, stung by scorpions. These crocodiles are chewing on his nutsack, and he's like, I got this, bro, I got this. And they're like, you're crazy, man. And that was just the picture I came up with. It's like Lane is determined to get to that site, whatever it costs him. And it's almost like he has to walk this path. I'm not saying don't try to assist him, but for goodness sakes, you know, if you got to get to that beautiful clearing and that campsite, for all you know, you might need to be airlifted out of there. And that was just kind of, that's been his journey. Rather than stick to the safe, established, it's not that hiking is a guaranteed, insured, safe activity. You could slip and fall. And what I'm referring to is the legal process that he's undertaking. The legal path is pretty narrow, as much as I hate to say it. If you're not part of the society or part of the circle of in that community, that legal community, showing up as a pro se, gonna blaze your own trail, it's gonna be hazardous. And Lane has found all the hazards. And tomorrow's hearing, unfortunately, from what I understand, like there could be some sentencing. I'm not up to speed on what's going on. I haven't done anything with the Free Lane Myers initiative in the last week. I was talking about it last week, but it seems like the only one that can kind of reverse course at this point is Lane himself. I did catch that that stream or that phone call that Illuminate the Dark posted from last week. And it seems like he's determined as ever to win on his terms. And that's where my advice or my strategy, I'm not into giving advice necessarily, but the advice I was giving, I asked for advice like from a journalist, and the advice was blast this out with a press release to all the major media outlets. This guy's being held as a political prisoner for basically booing while everybody cheered in a council meeting. And then he's been held with no bond for basically non-violent charges and parole violations or probation violations. So that was the first bit of advice. Press release, get every newsroom calling Pima County, asking what the fuck's going on. Why is this guy in jail with no bond? The other advice was lawyer up, get a good lawyer to get you out of jail so you can fight. Because I don't see his cause going anywhere while they got him locked up. Anna Banana says, Lane is so funny in court. Agreed. I cannot believe he got video of that O'Reilly cop putting the witness in handcuffs on the court record. I had to cover my face with a sweater so I didn't interrupt. I was thinking of going down to court tomorrow, but I don't want to get manhandled by a security leprechaun again. Yeah, those leppies, man. I have thought that Lane is a psyop a few times. Yes, that has crossed my mind. Are you a mod in BJ Investigates? You just found her. I don't know who BJ Investigates is. Yeah, maybe you didn't understand. It was one of those devices that don't require you to stick them up your ass. Referring to Tag's comment there. It's like, guys, I got this. Scorpion bites aren't as bad as they sound. Most people aren't willing to get bit by water moccasins and stung by scorpions. Like that, if you need to go that route, you're gonna get bit by water moccasins and scorpions, and you might slip and break your leg or neck on those slippery rocks trying to cross the river just to get to this wicked campsite. Meaning our constitutional rights and freedoms, which again, they're written on paper that's probably not worth much more than the stuff you wipe your butt at from Costco, right? And you got to deal with the wizards and the spellcraft, and you know, Lane does have some powerful spells that he knows, but he's dealing with these high tier wizards that have more powerful and better better control of their spellcraft, if we can use that analogy or that metaphor. So yeah, I want to help, but it's sort of at the point, how do you help? Why help at this point? Like it's almost like this has to run its course. Thoughts and prayers, like I don't know. I don't know. Thing that bothers me about the guys who stand up to Pima County is that they take them serious enough to act like court is the place to fight them. Yeah, it's like Bao alluded to the other day. It's like when you stand in front of the judge, or when Bao is standing in front of the judge, he's clowning them. Meanwhile, he thinks the process is real. And maybe they think the process is real, but most likely they understand the process is just a circus as well. Or it's just for show, right? But still, the spellcraft that they use during this show cause appearance, you know, present yourself to the court, represent yourself, or be represented. Like it's all just, it's a display, right? You're on display. The system is putting you on display. So Lane believes in his heart of hearts that this process, it's all real. And so they're treating him accordingly. Whereas Bao pretends like it's real. Meanwhile, he clowns him, and he walks home and goes to tweak out with "You Fail Me." Mind you, I don't know when the last time Bao has seen the inside of a courtroom. But it may have been a while, but he gets to go home or go into his van or whatever Bao does. I don't know. What do badgers do? But it's like you got to have that ability to read the situation and deflect back them the fakery that's involved. So maybe there's a little bit of spellcraft involved there, but Lane has tried to use legitimate spells against the people that write the spells, and he doesn't seem to get the lesson that he's not as powerful a wizard as they are. I guess his downfall is he's had a record of success in the past. But here's the thing, my working theory is they'll let you get away with shit for so long. But when they want to, they'll just drop the hammer on you. That's my thing. You know, all these free tweakers on the land, and whether you want to call them sovereign citizens, and I invoke my rights, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And, you know, the officer discretion, they might let you walk just because you said what you believe to be a powerful spell. But they're just like, yeah, we'll get this turkey a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 10 years from now when he's least expecting it. Like they're patient. They're willing to fuck up your life. It doesn't have to be today. They can let you go home. They can let you go free. They'll get you another time. When you've got the confidence that, ooh, my spell worked. I'm a powerful spellcaster. And then the next time you use that spell, you're in jail. Do we know anybody that's kind of been experiencing that? Chris Ruff? So it's a big game. It's a big show. It's a big production. That's my feeling. Best to avoid being put on display. Like, don't be a douchebag. Don't be a fucktard. I mean, how hard is that? Just don't be a fucktard, right? Uh, I guess Lane's Achilles heel too is like he's got to go out looking for strings to pull, and of course, I guess when you got a golden ticket in your back pocket, that gives you a little more confidence. But it's like I feel sorry for him, but I don't feel sorry. Like, I'm very torn here. I want to help, but I don't know that he'd accept the help or wants the help. Again, I'm not close to the situation, so reluctant prophet, welcome in. You're not even allowed to talk to him, right? Maybe if I knew that Lane needed to contact me, and I'd be more incented to get in there. But it's sort of, I think we just need to sit back and watch the tweak. So whatever happens tomorrow, I don't know what the hearing tomorrow is for. Is it actual, like, he's got to stand and answer for these charges? He could be like, who's got the intel there? Is it Prophet or? He brought up losing his security clearance. Thing that bothered me. They are criminal scum, but I mean they're making the rules. They're playing the game that they've set up the board so that they can do what they do. I mean, we could cry and whine and have a tantrum over it, but it's not going to change anything. Mock and expose, yeah. But really, that's what Lane was doing. He booed while everybody cheered, right? Bow's my hero. You're my hero, Anna. Maybe you should cross-dress. I'm assuming you're talking from experience. Think he has a bit of hubris, maybe just a bit. They have goblins and all manner of creatures that, like you gotta understand the game, I guess. And again, this is Lane's undoing. Is like he's had a few wins under his belt. He's made case law, for crying out loud. Some shit went right up to the Supreme Court level. I don't know if it was state Supreme Court or Supreme Court of the universe or what, but I don't think he won't back down. That was clear from that phone call from jail that was posted on Illuminate the Dark just before the weekend. Like, yeah, Lane did sound positive, upbeat, confident, in good spirits, but that just tells me, like, yeah, he's not backing down. He's determined to cross that river, get bit by the water moccasins and stung by scorpions and all that goes with it. I believe it's trial, and the next court date will be sentencing. So yeah, if Lane maybe has put together a few real powerful spells that can turn things around tomorrow, I don't see that there's a way of turning this around. RP was there and noticed that the lawyer lady's boy toy was recording without following the rules. He called it out. The dude got embarrassed by the judge. That's so fun. Yeah, I mean, it was, again, possibly for appearances. Just maybe I'll take an Uber down there and go. Anybody know what time it is? I think a whole day trial. Yeah, don't want those flock cameras tracking Anna Bananas around. Well, yeah, there's potentially a lot on the line, but really, the strategy Lane has employed, he's essentially put himself where he is my point. And from what I've seen, like, he didn't actually commit any crimes himself. Like, I think he talked the court into charging him, or just siding with the walkers, or, you know, taking the side of the victim. Like, he essentially went in there trying to make everybody look stupid. And they said, well, there's only so much of this we're going to take. And so they just dealt with him in the simplest way possible, which is, there you go, jail, no bond. How do you like them apples? So I think this could have gone a different way for Lane, but we're well past that point. So where do we go from this point? I think it's just watch and pray, just hope for the best for him. I don't know what he has in mind, whether Resnick is going to be at his side tomorrow. Like, I really haven't been in the loop of what's all going on. Maybe Illuminate the Dark knows. I don't know who's got the details or who's got kind of the goods. Maybe Blue Line Transparency. I don't know who to refer you to kind of get the latest intel and details on the Lane Myers. I'm just providing tweak commentary. I've been offering Tweak Babble almost exclusively on this channel. If you kind of enjoy that kind of Tweak Babble, feel free to buy me a coffee. That's the only way I can obtain viewer support at this point. But yeah, I want to be positive for Lane. I don't think he deserves to be where he is, but he's there because of Lane Myers, and not for high crimes and misdemeanors. It's just because I think his mouth got him where he is. Direct D, Chris Ruff, I mean, it was a combination of his mouth and his actions that I could see. You could make a case that he's a criminal. I mean, like Lane Myers, he's a convicted felon. He's done his time, paid his debt to society. But he seems to be a whole different breed of animal. He seems to be like a career tweaker criminal. So. And he's going to be marrying a tweaker criminal that most likely they'll be involved in more high crimes and misdemeanors at some future point. So that's just my tweak prediction. He is 100% a criminal. I have personally seen him. So there you go. You're not even a character witness. You're an eyewitness to. Yeah, I wouldn't have even posted that. You know, I don't need the prosecutor calling me up and saying, hey. Well, what do you do? And then going back to what we were talking about earlier, like, we've got William J. Barthel. Criminal record is as long as this RV, which is basically, for those who don't know, a 1977 Dodge B300 Winnebago cutaway van with the 440 cubic inch Mopar powerhouse. It's basically a tweak shack on wheels. So it's my mobile tweak shed. Very comfy, very fine ride. sleeps up to 6 tweakers. Essential La Rata license plate. Yeah, that came with it. Kind of obligatory La Rata license plate. But what else is going on? We talked about Lane. I don't need to talk much more about Lane unless you guys have something to add or fill me in. Like at this point, it seems irrelevant. Things are just going to happen the way they're going to happen at this point. Like, it's too late in the process to really get any traction. As I don't know. Yeah, here I don't know if you haven't seen this. Just for some new viewers, streams. Let's flip the camera around. Give you the around. Look at this beauty. In all her glory. I got a little deck set up here. Set of pallets, fire pit. Bunch of shit here. I don't want to show too much of the property, so this isn't my property, but there we go. L.A. Rata, or as Todd pronounces it, La Rata. Hey, La Rata. La Rata. Hey, La Rata. So it's in very nice shape. Engine is strong. I mean, it needs a little bit of loving kindness here. We got some generator power. I got a generator for sale over there. Ularada. Winnebago. It's the Mini Winnie, y'all. The Mini Winnebago with the mini puppy all tweaked out. You been tweaking? I hear a tail wagging. What? You want to come say hi? Yeah, he's tweaked out. Good boy. Look at you. Mega tweaker. So there you have it. The La Rata. Hey, La Rata. Are you La Rata? There we go. Max is sweet, yes. Such a good boy. The Mini Winnie and Maximus. Wayne believes that he is Spock in the Wrath of Khan. I'm not that much of a Trekkie, but yeah, that. I mean, what was that? 1980s. I'd really have to go back in the deep archives of my mind to remember the plot of that. But basically, yeah, Lane is the freedom fighter. Got to get to that clearing and that fire campsite there. Hopefully Doug Downey isn't in charge of the BLM land there, or the campground. But yeah, there is a righteous cause that Lane has taken upon himself, and this is kind of an archetypal thing that Lane has going on. You know, the hero, the freedom fighter, or the anti-hero, if you will. Like, who boos while everybody cheers during a council meeting, even if it is for taking your guns away or celebrating LGBT something or other, like equal rights for what? I mean we've got laws. Like, you can't harm people and not have the law come after you. If you're not binary, like what is it? Back in the day, it used to be you're gay, right? If you're gay or not straight, and you do something to a person uh, to cause them actual harm, like the law provides for a victim and a perpetrator. You don't have to add enhancements because of gender identity or whatever. Like what was the slogan that came up in Todd's panel the other day or something? Like the genitalia you were born with doesn't determine your gender, but removing it does. Make that make sense. I had a lot of shit going on last year. Do you mind giving me a tweak update on how you got from your farm to Heisenberg Hotel? Sure. So at this time last year, I was cleaning out my house because it was sold. We sold the house either last week of June or first week of July of 2025. Wife and I are splitting up. We decided that last spring. So she had moved out in like March or April, maybe May of last year. Put the house on the market, sold it. We both got our payouts. Basically came up with a separation agreement, dividing our whatever assets we had aside from the proceeds of the house. So she got a pickup truck, I got a pickup truck. She took most of the livestock, I got a dog. Split things up. So we figured out how to separate financially. And so with the proceeds of the house, I bought the Mini Winnie. I bought a new leash for Max. And the plan was to move from Grunthal, Manitoba, where the farm was, and I was heading for British Columbia, just to the west of me here. Be a mountain man, go live in the Rockies or Kootenays or whatever. So I spent the winter in British Columbia. I got out there first week in December, I'm going to say. So I had picked this thing up for $5,000, got it insured, got it safetied, drove this out west, came back, had to pick up my pickup truck, hauled that out west with a trailer load of stuff, and spent the winter in Clearwater, British Columbia. I had to be out of the house September 15th. That was the possession date for the new owners last year. So really, I've been homeless since middle of September of last year. I was gonna do a 1 year anniversary of 1 year of homelessness, just basically see what it's like, or to give you kind of my take on it. But I was staying at an RV resort from December until third week of June, and then I headed back here. Where I am located now is at a lot just, I'm gonna say, half hour outside of Winnipeg, which is the main capital city of Manitoba. He bought a building lot to build a house for him and his family. He wants to move out of the city, start enjoying the country life. So I had a bunch of stuff I had to wrap up here. I needed to deal with the actual divorce proceedings because we were just separated. So my wife recently filed papers for divorce. I talked to my lawyer, so that's in the works. I really don't even have to sign anything, but I had some important mail I had to pick up here. I have an eye exam tomorrow, as well as a physical exam next week, so that I get my Class 1 commercial driver's license reinstated. I had let it lapse during COVID because I didn't want to go anywhere near a doctor during COVID, especially being a truck driver. But they have a grace period. Like my Class 1 license expired. I've got a license, to drive normal vehicles. But as long as I do that medical exam within I think 3 years of letting your CDL lapse, they'll reinstate it with no issues. So I hope that's true, because I'm gonna get the medical exam, get my license reinstated, and then once I have my Class 1 license and all that medical stuff, I didn't want to do that in BC because it's a shit show trying to do stuff from one province to the other. So I've got my health coverage, our free universal shit healthcare in Manitoba. I didn't want to switch it to British Columbia while I still had unfinished business here. So the eye exam, medical exam, that's going to be wrapped up in a couple of weeks. I offered my buddy to come spend the summer here to help him frame his house and get the project launched, but it looks like it's not going to be happening. So really, once all my business is tied up here, I've got some stuff in a storage unit in Winnipeg that I've been renting. I got to clean that out, get my shit here, because we got a shipping container. I can store some stuff. Probably have to build a couple of utility sheds or something too. But he's got a 5-acre lot ready to build, but he doesn't have the title yet. There's no permits. The project can't start until he's got his shit together, which he doesn't. And so if there's not going to be any house build here, I'm going to be heading back to BC probably beginning or middle of September. Like, there's no reason to stick around here. Like, I was hoping to make a little bit of money while I was back here, so I've been selling a bit of my shit. Not my poop, but there's some shit I had in storage, and like I say, I've got a generator for sale. So I'll make a little bit of money here in the next month. There might be some jobs I can help my buddy with. He is a general contractor. There was another home build that's being delayed in town that was supposed to be launched too, but here we are. It was supposed to start in May, and we're, what, second week of August? Like, I don't think that house build is going to happen this year. So there was lots of work lined up, but it all just kind of fell apart. So there's, beyond dealing with my own personal stuff, there's not any reason to stick around here in Manitoba, which is where I currently am, any longer than I have to. So I'll probably be gypsying my way, drifting back west again. Previously, I was in Clearwater, British Columbia, which is an hour-ish north of Kamloops. Very nice area, but kind of a dead end, like kind of a distressed economy. Like not much going for it. Like, the mines have shut down. I mean, you got the forest fires going on as we speak. The pulp and like the logging mill burnt down several years ago. The pipeline work is all dried up. So the way I refer to it, it's a quaint little resort town, but it's like it's stuck in 1962. Like, it's just dated, old. It's almost tacky, you know? It's not nice and posh. Not that I'm looking for nice and posh, but it's a bit of a dump, you know? And the people there are good and tweaky. I mean, there'd be lots of content there, but I don't know. So I think on this next venture out west, I'm going to be looking more in the Kootenay Valley, Kootenay Range region. Very beautiful out there. Lots of hot springs and that kind of stuff. Lots of nice farmland. What one of the people I met in Clearwater was telling me is that there's a new thing that has come up in recent years in a lot of jurisdictions. It's basically a land trust agreement that you can get into, where there's a lot of I'm speaking specifically about farming because that's kind of the activity I'm interested in. But a lot of these old-timey farmers that have, you know, either acreage or some kind of operations, a lot of their families don't want to get into farming. And even if they did, the land transfer taxes in our economy, most younger people wouldn't be able to take on the farm. So what the owners of the farms are doing is they're starting these land trusts where workers can come and basically be the boss of the operation, but they'll never be the owner. The trust will always maintain ownership, and so there's a board to the trust. And so if I do want to get into farming, it'll probably be on kind of this basis where I know I'll never own the place, but for as long as I live, I'd have a farm operation I could get involved in, either as part of a team or as the farmer, kind of in running the operation or being a part of the operation, but never building equity into the operation. I'd be able to draw a wage or a compensation, you know, based on what the trust allows. So it's kind of sketch, but it's a way to go live on the land and work the land and keep some of these farms alive. Otherwise, developers are just going to move in and put up condos. I know I am kind of posh. But that's the short story, or a short version. There's been lots of twists and turns along the way, but yeah, I'll be spending the winter again in BC. The last winter, it was nice, but it was kind of a fact-finding, kind of get some intel on the ground, whether there was anything worth investing in Clearwater. I don't think so. I like that area, but it doesn't have a ton of potential. So I'm going to look at a different region of the province, see how things are looking out there, and then decide kind of where I want to relocate to. And the best way to do it is with a mini Winnie. So yeah, stay tuned for some more Tweak travel content. And I was talking politics, you're from the McDonald's neck of the woods. No, sorry to hear that, or happy for you. Yeah, it just had to be done. Like, we wanted different things, and as much as sorrowful as it was, as painful as it was, it needed to get done. So. Yeah, you know you're a redneck if your house has wheels and the cars in your yard don't have wheels. You may be a redneck, right? I want an alpaca farm. Well, that's pretty poshy. Do what you can. All right, yeah, season 2 starting soon. Or, yeah, whatever. You know what to do. But as part of the Tweaker journey last fall, I did make a little trip stateside as I was getting the mini Winnie out west. So I had went through the northern states. The plan was to meet up with another Tweaker in Oregon who's conspicuously absent here. Yeah, you could find free camping, but I'm staying at my buddy's lot. Like, we're supposed to be building. Yeah, I don't want to give too much his location, but we were supposed to be building a house like right there, beyond the RV, like right in that corner of where the trees are, and we've managed to put a driveway in and get a shipping container for storage. But that's about it. I've just been setting up camp here because that was kind of part of the agreement. if there was a building project going on here, I could just live here, stay for as long as I want, be on-site security for whatever equipment and materials was here. And this is a guy I've known for 30 years, so it's like we go way back. He's been so hospitable in letting me stay here. I'm so grateful that basically I mean, I've been here a month and a bit, month and a half, at no expense. I mean, it's roughing it. I don't have running water. I've got buckets and a water tank for washing. I've got propane. I've got generators for electricity when I need it. I've got a fire pit. I've got a dog. I've got dog food. I've got Brent food. I've got smokes. That's all I need. So it really. But yeah, there's Canadian public land. We call it Crown land. I could probably go find a place in the bush and just squat for however long I need to stay here. But there's neighbors nearby. I mean, I can run a garden hose into the water tank and have my water and shit. Town is only a few minutes away, so I just came from town actually this afternoon. But yeah, free camping, like there would be no no services offered of any kind. You'd basically just go find a place off of an old logging road or something, or there's all kinds of crown land. I've done plenty of exploring, so but there was no need to go look for a place because this was supposed to be where all the action is, like right on this chunk of dirt that I'm sitting on right now. But there's literally nothing going on. So I'll just stay here until it's time to go, and it's looking like within another month I'll be ready to go. So, but yeah, I could find a place and go rough it, but there's no need to. I mean, this is rough enough. I had not promised, but I was holding out the hope that I could do a IRL creek fishing stream for you guys back in Grunthal. I am gonna have to make a trip back to Grunthal. I was gonna do it on the weekend. I was actually gonna leave here last night and just spend the night, go collect my mail, and do some creek fishing for you guys. But we'll save that for another weekend. But yeah, there'll be some brook trout action, some angling going on. Show you that neat little spot I was staying at last fall. After I had possession, or after the new owners had possession of my big tweak shack in Grunthal, I had kind of had this purchase, but it wasn't ready yet. The guy was still doing repairs and getting the safety done on it. So I was living in this tiny home in an RV resort back in Grunthal, and it was basically a repurposed gravel pit that's been turned into an RV resort. Beautiful facility. It was just had so much fun living there. A little A-frame tiny home. So I did a bunch of live streams from the RV resort. Went on a plane ride with the owner. The owner's got a pilot's license, so we went for a plane ride. I had live streamed that. It's been quite an adventure since becoming homeless. It's been a blast, actually. And so yeah, there'll be more tweak content to come. I was doing some live streams through the winter while in BC, not a ton, but I kind of got a little less active on YouTube in the previous months, but I'm seeing more and more people are showing up to watch the tweak outs, and yeah, at some point maybe my view hours will climb up to the point where we could do some membership bullshit on YouTube, but it's kind of not it's not an urgent matter. It's going to require consistency on my part if that's what I decide to do. But I'm generally pretty lazy when it comes to YouTube. I'll do shit when I feel like it, or when I have something to say. Again, the reason I started the YouTube was just to free up space on my hard drive. You know, stuff that I once I speak it, I don't have to think about it much anymore. Like it's done. It's almost like a once those words are out there in the universe, I don't have to concentrate on shit that I feel I need to say. So it doesn't matter if you listen or not. Uh, it's not the same as telling it to Max. You know, if I'm looking at my iPhone and a camera is turned on and YouTube is broadcasting it, it's like this magic spell where boom, it's that that uh, mental load has been somehow dispersed across the ether or something. I don't know exactly how it works, the mechanics of it. Like, I did take some physics courses, not advanced physics, but I think there's some way to describe the phenomenon that goes kind of pseudo spiritual, pseudo physical. It maybe I don't know, maybe a mermaid mushroom, a purchase from the tweaker. Maybe I need a good mushroom trip to explain it better, but I don't know how. But yeah, I'm basically YouTubing for my benefit. So if you guys are deriving a benefit from it, I think that's wonderful. If you're not, I think that's wonderful too. If you are deriving a benefit, by all means, plunk a few pesos in the Buy Me a Coffee fund, because this one's almost done. I do have a few more tablespoons of tweaker coffee inside. I should go make a coffee now that we're talking about it. But yeah, without giving you all the details, those are the details over about the last year. I've just been tweaking hard as often as I can, on camera, off camera. I did a bunch of work on the Power Stroke. I basically had to rebuild a whole set of injectors, and I did a good enough job. I had used injectors and a bunch of shitty injectors, and I kind of combined both sets to make a working set of injectors just to get here. But I do need to invest in a set of new injectors. The ones I got, they're functional, but I don't know if they're going to make the trip all the way back. So I'm hoping they would, but it's sort of like the Lane Myers thing. Do I really want to cross that? Do I really want to get off the beaten trail and trust my rebuilt injectors that were just barely good enough to get back out here? Or should I stick to the trail and, you know, bite the bullet and spend the $3,000 on a new set of injectors, and not have to think about it, so. Or not have to get tow trucks involved. But yeah, that's where we're at. So there, yeah, I've done all kinds of shitty content over the last year. Feel free to go check it out at your convenience or inconvenience, I guess. And that's about it. What time? It's 7 o'clock. Oh, Max is ready for supper. Yeah, normally I feed him about 6, so he's ready for supper time. I'm ready for another coffee. I think I'll take a break. The usual tweakers are probably going to be online at some point within the next hour or so. So we'll do this again real soon. Tomorrow is a bit of a, yeah, tomorrow I got to head into town again. Maybe we'll do something in the evening tomorrow. I don't know. But thanks for all y'all coming. I hope that alpaca farm works out. From what I understand, there's a goat farm in Apache County that could use some help. And yeah, free direct D. I mean, like what more can we say? Like, for the high octane tweaks, like Todd is just not up to it. We need the skill, the expertise, the skull face, the intensity, the estrogen fueled tweaks that can only come from our beloved Dookie. So as Aaron says, free our Dookie. You're welcome, Aiden. Thanks for coming. Thanks for leaving. Stay tweaky, y'all.